Karen thought she had the final say on where I could park. She slapped me with fines, waved her fake rules, and laughed at my frustration. But she had no idea the vehicle I brought home next would shake her entire HOA kingdom to the ground. It started with a simple truck. I parked it in my own front yard after a long day at work, thinking nothing of it. The next morning, an envelope with a fine notice sat on my windshield. HOA Karen had decided my truck violated community standards. I tried reasoning with her. "It's my property," I explained. But Karen only smirked, pointing to her clipboard. "Not anymore. You either park it somewhere else or pay the fines. Rules are rules." For days, she paraded past my yard, snapping pictures, threatening legal action, and bragging to neighbors that she was cleaning up the neighborhood. My blood boiled, but instead of fighting her with words, I decided to let actions speak louder. You see, I have a background in military surplus and restoration, and tucked away in a storage yard was something Karen never expected: a fully restored, decommissioned tank. The next weekend, I arranged for its delivery. The ground rumbled as the flatbed pulled up. Neighbors poured out of their homes, phones in hand, jaws dropping. Karen stormed out, screaming, "What is that doing here?" With a grin, I waved to the driver. The tank rolled right off the bed and into my yard, tracks grinding against the pavement. Its steel hull gleamed in the sunlight, casting a shadow across Karen's perfectly trimmed lawn. She nearly dropped her clipboard. You can't park that here," she shouted. But this time, the crowd wasn't on her side. They were laughing, cheering, filming. Even local news showed up within an hour. Karen's threats suddenly looked small compared to 30 tons of armored steel parked legally on private property. And here's the best part. There wasn't a single rule in the HOA guidelines that banned historic military vehicles. Karen had written herself into a trap. When the HOA board realized she had turned the neighborhood into a viral spectacle, they pulled her authority immediately. By the end of the week, she was stripped of her position. Now, every time I sit on my porch sipping coffee, I look at that tank and smile. Not because I need it, but because it reminds me of the day Karen learned you don't mess with a soldier on his own land.
I am Liam, and trust me, the next HOA story is even worse. Subscribe now.